Buying a vehicle in the Wabash Valley has never been so easy. Just point, click, and take your pick at DorsetAutomotive.com. New or pre-owned, you call the shots. Go ahead and give it a try. Point, click, and take your pick now at DorsetAutomotive.com.
Okay, a typical battle when we play these guys. I mean, it was a physical, grinded out basketball game, far from a masterpiece, but in the end, you know, we make enough plays and play good enough defense and rebound well enough to win the game. So it's hard to fathom. When Bate goes 1 for 11 and we go 2 for 17 from 3, you can win it by 10 points here. If you'd have said that to me, I probably wouldn't have believed you, but I'll take it.
The clock in Fred's head seems to rush run at perfect speed. I guess that's just calm composure there at the end.
It's calm, it's composure, it's savvy, it's moxie, it's ability. It's all the things that we've used to describe Fred now for 10 years. I mean, the play that he made when it was a short shot clock on the out of bounds, when he hit the 3 right in front of our bench was incredible, but even more incredible was the one that he hit with like 1 second on the shot clock. It was kind of a turnaround jumper, a 2-pointer in front of our bench. It was a great play, a very talented player, and you know, nothing you can do. Great players can score when they're guarded well, and Indiana State guarded well, and we just made a good play.
First and foremost, I want to just speak highly of a Wichita State program and fan base that allows you to take the players allow you to call a timeout and take the seniors out, Justin and Kitch at the end of the game, and applaud for them like they did for Odom last year when he fouled out. And their fans stay for their post-game speeches and stand there and listen and applaud. I just think that's what college athletics is all about. We have the same type of fans and the same type of players here. And I admire the way that team plays. I admire the way they're coached. I'd like to beat them a lot more than I admire them, but it's a class act, and you can see why they're so talented and one of the better teams in the country. As far as our team goes, we played hard enough to win. We did. The guys competed. They fought. We wanted to make Wichita leave here knowing that they had to compete hard and play, and that we were hard to play against. Now, we did not play well on the offensive end, but you're playing against one of the best defensive teams in the country, and they make you play ugly. And we played ugly, and we struggled, and we over-dribbled. But they pressure you. They deny stuff, so guys have to try to create plays with the dribble, so you have to do that some. We were better, just not quite good enough. We made runs. I thought we were doing enough to have a chance, but with a veteran team that they have, they just made more plays down the stretch and lengthened that lead where we weren't quite making the right plays. And I got to do a little better job in preparing with those guys. I thought offensively throughout the year we've been pretty good, other than against these guys and then the game here against Northern Iowa. So that's on the head coach, and I got to help them a little more next time we see these guys.
Questions? Greg, just a little bit of slippage at the beginning of the second half,
Yeah.
and late when the game got down to 1 point. I mean, against a team like that, obviously you just can't do that.
It's blood in the water. I mean, they're sharks and it's blood in the water. And I think it happened one of our first defensive possessions earlier, where it's not just a second shot, it's a third shot and a fourth shot and then a foul. And to come out and not execute and turn the ball over right away. And there's plays there to be made. They want to make you make the difficult play, the tough play. And we tried to do that way too early. I thought we dribbled way too much early in the offensive possessions. And again, you know, they're as good as anybody in runs, you know, taking a 3-point lead and making it 10 real quick. So, and you just don't have enough timeouts to stop it. But that's why they are who they are, and we have to continue to get better. We played hard enough to do it, but you got to play smart too.
Yeah, it was very frustrating. Like you said, at times we got in real close. I think one time it was 46-49. You know, we got within a couple points, but we never really got over the hump. We, made too many mistakes offensively, too many turnovers, and didn't get into the offense the way we wanted to. And then on the defensive end, I think we gave up 15 boards, which you can't do against any team to win, let alone a team like Wichita who's ranked. So we got to commend them for continuing to fight and be solid offensively and defensively. But we know we can do it. In the spurts, we look really good, but we just got to continue on making our spurts a little longer and work on getting more stops.
Jake, just talk about that battle underneath the glass. I mean, it's obviously always going to be physical when you play Wichita State. And, you know, I suppose tonight wasn't any different. What do you think was able to give them the edge, especially in the first half? And that's when they were really hurting in the second half.
I think they were just more physical, and we were kind of waiting for calls and expecting calls, and they were letting us play, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but they just got to more loose balls and more offensive rebounds than we could. And, I mean, it's always a battle, and we're always going to fight as hard as we can. It just didn't happen for us.
Christian, you had a good offensive game tonight, but do you take more pride in that or more pride in the fact that you were also partnering with Ron Baker for much of the game and he wasn't much of a factor scoring-wise? Which of those do you think speaks well of your game tonight?
Probably defense. My offensive game hasn't been where I'd like it to be to help the team out this year all the way, but defense is something that you can control yourself. So you can get good energy on the defensive end and create offense by just getting rebounds and pushing them in transition. So I take a lot of pride in guarding the other team's best player, and I make that my goal just to try to stop them and also help my teammates on the defensive end too.